right? They can also let them go and they can follow them. They can put them under investigation. They can do all sorts of shit. So Andrew Tate would be ridiculous.
Andrew Tate's going to be in Dubai. He's going to live there for quite a while.
If he's innocent, why would he have to do that?
Because he's sick of fucking being in Romania. They had him under house arrest. They had him under house arrest for 3 years or 2 years. There's no evidence. They couldn't prove anything.
Why would he flee and leave Romania and leave all of his assets?
Why would he want to be around the fucking bitch that's always nagging you and always poking you? You want to fucking leave? Get out.
You said Andrew Tate should flee the country as a fugitive. But
he's not a fugitive. He's not a fugitive.
If he was to flee the country, he would become a fugitive. And you say he's also innocent. Why would he flee the country and become a fugitive?
My friend, I want to make this abundantly clear with you. If they had evidence to book his ass, he would have been booked already. Let me tell you what happened. Let me actually tell you what happened. Okay. I'm going to release some information right now. I probably shouldn't, but whatever.
Address the TQ. Address the TQ.
2022. All the big tech companies had a big meeting, and it was about Andrew Tate. He was blowing up. He was hijacking the social media platforms, and they wanted to bring him down. So they had all the hold on, chill. They had all the social media companies there. There's only one that left. It was YouTube. They said, and we're not down with this. But all the other social media companies said, we're going to take this guy out. And the American government under the Biden administration was complicit. Anthony Blinken gave the Romanian government Abrams tanks to basically go after Andrew Tate. If you look at when the Abrams tanks were delivered to Romania, it was right after Andrew Tate got arrested. It was a payoff. Because big tech, hold on. Big tech wanted.
I know you don't like being interrupted, but you love interrupting me.
Big tech wanted him shut down. They fucking went to the Biden administration, and the Biden administration and Anthony Blinken went to the Romanian government and said, okay, we're going to give you Abrams tanks. We need you to take care of this guy.
Patriot.
And the only reason this information got released is because Trump got in office and all this information came out because they actually tell the truth. And
bring PODAWFUL on. Bring PODAWFUL on.
American history, and I hope he has a third term.
Do you want to know what really happened?
No, that's actually what really happened.
I can tell you what really happened.
You don't know anything.
This Tyson dude is useless. Look at him. He's sitting in front of a little kid's bed. He's got basketball shoes.
You want to let me finish? You want to let me actually talk?
Go ahead.
Is this a 12-year-old moderating this debate?
Was telling this.
Is this a little kid for real?
Come to Romania.
If it is, I got to tune out. This is weird.
Trying to get her over there. She did. She went to Romania. He put her in this little compound.
By the way, this is maybe the dumbest debate I've ever heard.
And she reached out to her friend.
Obviously, Misfit Patriot is dumb.
And he.
We already know what he thinks.
What you're describing, it sounds like a brothel. It sounds like sex trafficking. Some of the girls were saying they can't leave.
Fake Christian.
He's working them like 16,
Jew booty warrior.
So the girl from Florida was like,
this GG33 guy makes him look good.
So she called her friend the Marine.
This dude's a wigger
reached out to
who believes that numbers are magic. That's his. He's going. You're stupid. You believe in the sky, daddy.
Already had an open investigation.
And then 2 seconds later, he's like, numbers are magical. You have to believe the numbers.
Where he was already.
Did you know that Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant have similar birthdays?
When got the new information.
That means the universe is
they had enough evidence.
I don't even know what he's fucking claiming.
So they went in, they arrested him.
What the hell is numerology? Other than
they have had the case.
Isn't that just autism?
Time. Right. In
December, I have no idea what's going on. I got to be honest.
Filing error, which is what he says. He says the whole case was dropped. It wasn't.
I don't know how numerology works.
Filing error.
Yeah, it happens in court all the time.
And then the guy in the middle, this little boy,
so look,
is just sitting there being quiet. And every once in a while, he tries to get in, but you can't even hear him. These guys just talk. This is his YouTube channel.
Judicial control.
Look at his basketball bed sheet.
Why was he allowed to leave the country?
Oh, and baseball too, I think.
They had him.
This is a 12-year-old
bedroom. They had him in prison. They had him in prison. They could have locked him up. They didn't have enough evidence. They had to let him go. You need to get. You know what you need to do? You need to apologize.
I'll address the whole thing in a second.
Him to drop the lawsuit because
I figured it was better just to go live.
What little money you have, he's gonna fucking take it. Is this what you want?
This is crazy. This is straight up crazy.
You say Andrew Tate's a piece of shit.
I hope they go back to him talking about magic numbers.
I would agree with you, but you cannot call him a rapist with no evidence whatsoever.
Based off of Andrew Tate's own admissions, he's a rapist.
True. We call him
like the sarcasm.
No, it's not sarcasm.
So you can't even hear him. We call him Miss MISS Misfit Patriot now. That's the new name. Official Goon, AKA.
Milk Bar TV? What the hell kind of porn site is this?
That sounds incredible.
What a milk
Bar?
Misfit Patriot. Or Misfit, but you spell it where the M, F, and T are all capitalized. That's also a good one.
15. Right, this is he has a supercut of all. This is Andrew Tate's words. It's not edited out.
This guy will not do anything interesting. By the way, we're demanding he brings me on. There's zero chance.
He's got a big mouth.
He refuses to do anything to make this actually interesting. By the way,
went and admitted to all this shit.
33,000 subscribers. Whoever this guy, I've never heard of this dude ever. 87 people watching, and I brought like 40 of them.
You have video evidence of him raping a woman.
We have more people watching the replay right now on my little channel.
I have video evidence.
This is insane.
To sleeping with underage girls.
Not happy to be here. Yeah, I agree. We'll talk about the whole thing in a second.
100%.
Just give me a minute here. I just got to check this out. I did send in a super chat telling him to address the TQ.
You always trust women?
And accuse Misfit of being FTM. He did put it on screen, and he sort of halfway asked like an hour later.
So you do,
but he refuses to really talk about it. So
you do understand. You do understand when a man has money. When a man has money, I understand that's not a problem you have. But when
also, I'm sick. I'm so sorry.
I'm sick. And take your back.
I've got Crowder Davids.
You said you like math, right? What is?
I've got non-Medicare Crowder Davids disease. Non-Augustine. What do we call it?
15,
What's his last name? Yeah, Augustine.
That's
Non-Augustine Crowder Davids disease. In that it's real. Oh wait, we gotta remove Davids.
Of Vivian.
Oh, and Crowder.
Her passport says 1997.
Let me ask you this.
Do the math. Magic numbers.
Say you lose the lawsuit. Okay.
I won't, but okay.
Okay, let's just say you do, and Andrew Tate offers you a deal.
Let's say you do, though.
Don't worry about the 50,000. You just got to get in the ring with him. Would you do that?
I mean, no. But
no, because if it's a gravel ring, if it was a gravel ring, he would do it.
I don't know.
And by the way, I'm gonna make this statement right now. If
kick him right in the balls instantly.
Which that
guys, share that show, hit like. I'm going to address this scenario in the title in just a second. This is a big deal, actually. I shouldn't be doing this right now.
You believe a virgin can have a child. I find that very fascinating.
You people on the internet.
Yeah, see, look, we're bringing in most of the viewers for this.
You're one of us, bro.
33,000 subscribers. Why don't I just buy fake subs?
No, I don't do it for a living, but that's what I'm saying.
Of course, you're begging people for money.
This guy managed to get on these dudes as guests because he just bought subscriber. They were like, oh, I guess it's a big channel.
You act like a fucking elementary school kid.
This is a boy in his bedroom.
You gotta fight to prove you're a man. I have more.
He literally just printed out the YouTube logo, the old YouTube logo, by the way, and stuck it on his wall.
Forget the money. You don't have a family.
Mom, Dad, can I paint this part of the wall blue?
You don't have kids. You're a fucking failed reincarnation. Piece of fucking shit.
Why would you have a TV here above the part of your bed where your head goes?
I value my family. I value my kids.
He's got a sticker on his bed.
Every single morning.
A YouTube sticker that says his own name. Look at that.
And hugs. That is the best single
on your bed.
In my life. I have a family. You don't have a family, bro. You can't even get a woman.
Here's my watch.
Maybe you're homosexual. Who knows?
Dude,
every single part of this is so embarrassing. It's unreal.
The people that you know, the high, powerful figures. You don't give a shit about your family. You're here right now talking.
What are you talking about? We're bringing up my family more than anything else. As a matter of fact, I'm bringing the fact that you don't have a family. You are a 40-year-old man.
Well, a man is strong.
Kids. Yo, bro, that's.
I mean, listen, trans rights all day,
but homosexual just by that.
Well, some
people, I mean, maybe
T-Man.
T-Man.
We don't want to fool anyone here.
Married and had kids after 40 years old. I mean,
I'm reporting this channel for impersonation. If you don't let it spot off. Well, there is impersonation going on. Any T stream is impersonating. This is an impersonator.
You waited so long. No, this is the fact. The longer you wait as a man, the worse your seed is. I'm not going to have any more kids. I'm done. I had my kids already.
My dad had me when he was 30. When he was 39.
Yeah, 30. You're right. 30. 30's not 40.
Well, that explains why you're a lady.
Okay, so when are you planning to have a kid?
I'm trying, man, but you know what?
You're trying.
It's not working out for you.
In your studio apartment?
No,
what?
Dude, like I said, this isn't how people win debates.
Damn.
I mean,
I swear to God, we made fun of this guy on Monday. Misfit Patriot. The next day, he was the biggest lol cow on Twitter. Everybody was making fun. Like, we started a trend. We really did.
That's all I want to know. You didn't want to have an actual debate.
No, bro, there's nothing to debate.
That's crazy.
You were so stupid.
This is boring.
You actually believe AIPAC doesn't have influence in the world. I am a Jewish man. I'm willing to admit AIPAC has a lot of influence in America. I'm also willing to say Israel has a right to defend itself.
Sure.
Okay. But at the same time, you said you're willing to kill every single Hamas member. And
everyone leave
just so
the
stream.
Just so
their family, all the Palestinians, just so Israel's safe.
No,
are you out your mind?
Leave now. I command.
Let me tell you what I would do.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to
go ahead.
Everyone out. I don't want to see a single message go through it.
No, we go back and forth.
People.
So is it going to be a clippy thing, or do you want to?
It's already a clippy
thing.
It's already a clippy thing.
What happened there? Wait, what happened?
Oh my God, he's gone.
What happened?
No! That's how you cook somebody.
This guy's got braces. This is a little boy. Oh my God, we got tricked into watching a little boy by Misfit Patriot. That makes sense.
This is the thing.
He's got braces.
I want people to understand something. When it comes to pieces of shit,
I was wondering why he was trying to hide his mouth that way.
I'm not there to debate him. I'm there to make him look bad.
So did Misfit leave or did he get kicked? Did he run?
True.
Two days ago, I was very respectful with the Muslim. But when you go out there and you start saying stupid stuff like AIPAC doesn't have a large influence over America, listen, I'm not saying it's even wrong.
Stop saying bring on PODAWFUL. Stop saying DDoS.
It's not just in this country, it's every other country. So when they start saying, yo, that's not true. And the second thing.
Wait. You know what's crazy? I'm not watching this anymore. You know what's crazy is I said everyone leave now, and then Misfit Patriot left. Insane. Okay, strange. I guess I have the power over her as well. Anyway, hit like, guys. This is very important. Yeah, great timing. This is actually a super important stream. Unfortunately, I don't want it to be, but this actually blows what's going on. So I hope you had a little fun there at the top. I'm just going to listen. I made a post about this, and if you're in the Pizza Fund, you can read the full thing. Uncensored in there, but you do have to be in the Pizza Fund to read it. I just have to do it that way. Sorry. But I'm going to read you what I can of the post and explain what's going on. Here's what's happening. I announced that this would happen. I said this a week ago. I think it was a week ago today, as a matter of fact. I said, this is going to happen and we'll be fine. And that is true, but it's happening. The Pizza Fund is under attack. Currently, all paywall content is down, except for, by the way, our most recent Pod After show. I was able to restore that. So if you did not get a chance to see the Pod After show from Monday night, you know, the one from the Misfit Patriot episode, that is actually up. So if you go and click on that one, you can go watch that right now. Okay? And I'm going to work to restore a few more things as well. But let me just read what I can. I'm going to have to be careful about my wording here. All right. Some of the things I say in this I cannot actually publicly disclose. So allow me to read this. We'll talk about it. We'll explain. And thank you, by the way, just ahead of time to everybody in the Pizza Fund, but especially to the people who've already replied to this post on the website. Everybody's been very nice. So here's what's going on. Again, Pizza Fund under attack. I said, our video hosting provider, Vimeo, has banned my account after paying them tens of thousands of dollars for the past few years. I actually don't remember what year now I started using Vimeo. I want to say 2020 or 2021. So 4 or 5 years now we've been using them. Everything was fine. But again, we knew this was coming. And I have paid tens of thousands of dollars to them. I do need that understood. This video hosting, particularly the streaming thing, is very expensive. People, there's a reason why you don't see people at my level doing this. There's a reason that guys like, Ethan Ralph, Mersh, Dick Master, all these guys can't wrap their mind around the fact that I'm able to pull this off. This is why I supposedly have a trust fund and stuff, because it is very expensive, but the pizza fund makes it possible. So they've banned me. Their reason, they think I've been uploading pornography on my account. Never mind the fact that Vimeo has tons of public videos of nude women in sexual and provocative situations, and they routinely recommend these videos as editors' picks. Not that you've ever gone to... By the way, when was the last time you went to Vimeo on your own? Have you ever typed the word Vimeo, then added a .com and put it in the address bar and went, let me see what's on? Has that ever happened? These guys should be desperate for people to give them money. Okay? Their platform is a failure. But I guess certain things mean more to certain people than money. Unfortunately. And when you have a Vimeo account, again, I haven't seen a Vimeo. I don't even know if they have I literally do not know. And I've been using them for years. I have no idea if they even have a front page with content on it anymore or not. Are they just a service provider now? Are they like a YouTube thing? I have no idea. What I do know is that on the back end on Vimeo, when I would be uploading my own stuff, they would have an editor's picks shelf. And about half the time, there'd be like a fully nude woman in the thumbnail. Nothing I'm looking for. And let's be honest about this. Because a woman is naked, but she's dancing or it's shot beautifully, it doesn't make it more art, okay? It's not any more art than fucking any other... It's porn. But anyway, that doesn't even matter, because here are some of the examples of what Vimeo is now claiming are unacceptable instances that I have uploaded of pornography. And again, I have to be clear about this. Vimeo allows nudity. They 100% allow it. They don't allow pornography. And like that classic saying, I can't tell you what porno is, but I know it when I see it. This is the legal standard, by the way, for porn. It's just something you know when you see. I have a feeling I know it when I see it too. So here's what they think I've uploaded that is porn. And by the way, all of these things are things that were reported by somebody. Like, listen, somebody just reported a bunch of videos, and then Vimeo just went through my titles, basically. Maybe they searched a couple videos and just whatever they found. They were just looking for any excuse. Let's be honest. Let's be real about this. But here's one of the examples. An episode titled Maddox Dick Exposed, because I guess they assumed this was actually about Maddox flashing his penis rather than a pun about Juju the cow. So that one is clearly just title. There's no nudity in the episode. It's about fucking Maddox. But that one, that's porn. An after show called The Naked Truth, where Mr. Burgers briefly wanders around nude in the dark, covered in vomit. Again, Vimeo allows nudity, so they must find puke sexy. That's a choice. Listen, everybody's got their proclivities. I don't need to know them, but everybody's got their proclivities. And I have to be clear, even the nudity that you see, like, you barely see anything. It's fully dark. You have this suggestion of butt. It's like there are mainstream PG-13 movies where you see more man body than you do in this episode. Here's another example. This is certainly actually the most egregious example. The Minnie Manson Happy to Be Here. Okay, sure, Minnie Manson gets really naked in that one, but if you can jack off to that shit, then the problem is you. Is it gross? Yes. Is it nude? I mean, it's almost an OBGYN exam, but it's not pornography, which is the difference. The intention, obviously, is comedy. It's not pornography. The arguments could be made against that as well, obviously, but I think the intention is clear. And again, I've seen egregious stuff on Vimeo before, which by the way, they have a clause thing. They have a thing saying like, your excuse can't be, I've seen other people do it. And that's about that's, you know what? At least they're transparent. That's better than YouTube. At least they're blatantly saying, we let some people get away with it. YouTube pretends like everybody's on the same playing field, and then, everybody who's actually famous is very much not on the same playing field as the you in YouTube. But Vimeo just straight up told me, yeah, we let other people do it, so it doesn't matter. Don't tell me that you saw it somewhere else. That doesn't mean it's okay. Now, there were 2 other examples given. I've actually forgotten what one of the examples was. I can tell you the other one was the Happy to Be Here, where I appeared on the BYB podcast. Explain that one to me. Go ahead and explain that one to me. And if the excuse is going to be derogatory or hate speech or anything like that, I've already explained to the fine people at Vimeo that not only am I a satirical comedian and the things I say are not true, they are funny, but I am also, and this is important, a BIPOC queer creator. So any of my terms I may use, it's me using them in a satirical, parodic way in order to fight against white supremacy. Now, I announced on the recent episode, Shamappy Merch Day, a week ago, that Clay Combmes, a.k.a. the comedy shaman, the comedy she-man, had privately announced his intentions to falsely report my videos to my hosting provider. As a matter of fact, by the way, it was uncovered. Not only had he said that recently, he said that he was going to do that a year ago. He has been eyeing doing this for a year at minimum. At minimum. This has been on his mind, a plan of his. We knew this was going to happen. I've spoken directly to Vimeo staff. I've even spoken, by the way, to them through video conference calls in order to get, like, I didn't have a normal Vimeo account. I had an enterprise plan, which is what like legitimate big businesses use. Okay. Like it's supposed to be, you're McDonald's and you need to live stream for some weird event you're doing. So you go and contact Vimeo and set up some enterprise plan where you're paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. That's what I had. And in order to get that set up, they literally make you speak to someone, like a person who works at Vimeo, through a video conference phone call. They made me do this. I didn't want to do it. They forced me. Now, on one hand, it's nice that there's a human being working with you. As a matter of fact, part of my enterprise plan is supposed to be that I have a direct contact at Vimeo who works with me on things. How many times do you think I heard from them before they decided to just delete my fucking entire account? If you guessed 0, congratulations. You're fucking right. No, 0 warning. 0 warning. 0 anything ahead of time. I wasn't given an option like, hey, if you just take these down, nothing. Years, thousands of dollars. I'm supposed to have a direct contact. None of the enterprise plan. None of that matters. Okay. It's beyond the highest plan. Enterprise is I have a contract. I was under contract with Vimeo. It's a very different setup. Okay. This is not like a terminate at will YouTube style scenario. I don't remember if I say this in this post or not, so I'll just say it now. one of the funniest parts of all of this is they had the nerve to send me an email 1 hour before emailing me that I was being kicked off of the platform. They had the nerve to send me an invoice for the next year of payments. My payment happens around this time of year. So I pay ahead of time. You're paying up front for the amount of, time or bandwidth you're going to use and storage you're going to use. So if I had seen, I've been really sick and I completely missed this email, but if I had seen it in time, I would have gone and paid for an entire year and then an hour later found out I wasn't allowed to use the platform. And they would think that they're entitled to that money afterward. Thank dear God I did not send that payment, and I will not be sending that payment. You can have all the fucking contracts you want. I will never pay you. Give me my account back, or I will never pay you. It's absolutely insane that they did that. Anyway, back to Shaman. I've spoken directly to video staff and even through video conference calls. All of the employees there, all right, now I got to be careful of what I say. All the employees there are exactly the type of people that you would think would not like PODAWFUL. Again, I've seen them, okay? I'll put it to you this way. I one time got an email. They had set up a new way to do payments, a new payment portal, and I completely disregarded the email because it was sent to me in Portuguese. Now, I am not Portuguese. I don't live in Brazil. I don't live in Portugal. I'm not out on the streets beating up Ethan Ralph or anything. They just chose that. That's just the guy who sent the email is Brazilian. How many years have I been talking about Brazilians? And now this is a thing, apparently. The Brazilians. This guy was Brazilian and decided to just tell me in Portuguese that there was a new payment process. And so I saw Portuguese and went, oh, I guess this is spam, and fucking deleted it. And then they emailed me months later, hey, you haven't paid your thing. And I'm like, what payment portal? What are you guys talking about? They're like, we sent you an email. And I go back through and it was still in my trash. And I'm like, yeah, this is why. Okay, so that's what I'm dealing with Vimeo. This is no surprise. The shocking thing is that it lasted this long. And Vimeo was always meant to be a stopgap. We used to just use YouTube for the stuff. I used to be able to get away with using YouTube. That's crazy to think about. It wasn't just that, YouTube is obviously easier to leak the paid content. That's not why we switched, by the way. We switched because we're doing stuff that YouTube doesn't like. You used to be able to do some of this stuff on YouTube. So I thought Vimeo was always like a temporary solution, but I never found a better one. That's the problem. Frankly, as much as Clay Combs deserves to be punished, and he will be for attempting to take food out of my children's mouths, the problem here lies with Vimeo. Okay? In a normal society, paying thousands of dollars to a service for years to host completely legal video content should be enough to get someone to take a closer look at context and maybe shut off the report button, considering the only people seeing my content are people paying to do so. Think about the mentality there. If someone is reporting this content, they paid to see it first. What do you think that means? Is someone actually offended, or is someone willing to pay $12 to try to cause me harm and cause my family harm? Obviously, any report is being made by someone fucking looking for trouble. So I will find another very temporary solution for hosting our most recent paid content, much like I've gotten the most recent Pod After show back up. I've got a temporary solution for a few things. We're not going to get everything back up, but I want to make sure there's some stuff. And I'll figure out a streaming solution to cut down on downtime. Here's what I promise right now. Other than this stream right now, which is replacing our Primo episode, which should be taking place, which, by the way, I had a whole setup for a Primo episode, but I do have to focus on this for right now. However, come Monday, we're back on schedule. No matter what's going on with the Pizza Fund, we're back on schedule. We're doing episodes. We're saying fuck it, and I'm just going to do it. Okay? It's not going to be like, oh, give me a month. I'm just going to keep doing shows, and we'll fucking work it out in the meantime. I apologize personally for downtime anyone in the Pizza Fund experiences during this transition. It is going to cost me thousands of dollars up front to get a new CDN, hosting, streaming solution, all of that kind of stuff. You can look this up. The prices for this shit, it's thousands up front. It's thousands. And then, all of it's based on estimates. So then when people watch this stuff, the bandwidth, you'll never believe the bandwidth on this stuff. And a lot of these companies, cheat the numbers to force you to pay more. I know for a fact Vimeo did this to me. This is going to be expensive. And Vimeo was already expensive. This will probably, it's not going to be less. I'll tell you that much. And this is the bigger problem. I also have to find one that's going to treat us like adults that are capable of making our own decisions about what is acceptable as a form of comedy. That's for you to choose. That's for me to choose. That's not for the person hosting a video to choose. When the point of this stuff is that you are paying to see it, then it is up to you to make those decisions. We don't need an intermediary or a report button treating us like we're children. And that's going to be the toughest part of all. But I think I might have found the solution. I have to make the tough ask of everyone who is capable of doing so. I emphasis on capable, to stick it through until things are 100% again. Because the main thing that the Pizza Fund is funding is not pizza, and it's not me. It's the funny show you like. Okay? The vast majority of your money goes back into creating this. The reason I'm able to pull this off at all is because I reinvest your money back. I don't gamble your money. I don't drink your money. I don't snort your money. We have the Pizza Fund. We make funny shows. I do funny things for the show. Pod's Law only takes place because of you. So you aren't supposed to be at my level and do the things I get to do. It's kind of incredible, and I want to thank everyone who makes it possible. If you cannot swing keeping your sub during this time on the Pizza Fund, I get it, and I hope you'll come back when everything is good again. I'll make a big announcement. Hey, we're in. We're locked in. Everything's in. I won't announce it until at least 50% of the content is back on the Pizza Fund. It's got to be that or more in order for it to be worth it. You can just come back at that time if you want. If you can keep supporting, your money goes directly toward whatever this new thing is that I'm going to have to use. I'm having to figure it out right now. And listen, I saw somebody brought this up to me. I saw Kiwi Farms, Josh Moon. He made a give, send, go to try to get, the server costs for Kiwi Farms. You got to maintain the server costs. I'm not asking for that. Okay. I think he instantly got it funded by like more than triple what he was. I think he got like $25,000 for it, which that's a forum. Like, it's not a video hosting. You have no idea the amount of bandwidth between a bunch of text and a bunch of video it's light years. It's fucking the Kessel Run between all of that. You wouldn't believe the parsecs. But I guess it's 25. It needs $25,000. Kiwi Farms. The pizza fund, which is all it is videos, basically. It's a lot. Okay. I don't like having to do this, but if you can keep your pizza fund in this time, do it. If not, if you cannot afford it, please do not keep it. All right. This is about to be rough waters, and I don't know how long it'll be. I just don't. I'm shooting for less than 1 month. We might even be back up and running, by the way, as early as a week from now. Could be. It's possible. At the very least, when I say back up and running, I mean we've got something. We have a way to host videos. We have a way to live stream. This is the hardest part, is the live stream aspect. There's a lot of things where, it'd be about a similar price to what I was already paying, and maybe they would look the other way with some of our content. And, everything would be gravy except for streaming. I've seen a few different options where it's like, oh, we don't really do streaming, or streaming costs so much extra. And of course, then the other important part is that it's not something that's just instantly leakable, Here's the crazy thing. I would use a free option, but there are 2 free options, right? Maybe 3 free options right now. You would think any of these streaming platforms would have like an unlisted streaming option, or maybe a password protected streaming option. Most of them don't. There's no private streams on Twitch. There's no private streams on Kick. I think Rumble has it, and I think Odyssey has it. And obviously YouTube does, but we can't use YouTube for this stuff. So we will, but I will be using one of these things as a temporary solution in all of this. Now, finally, and this is the part that most people probably actually give a shit about, Comedy Shaman. Did he do it? What's going on there? Allow me to address this. Comedy Shaman, a.k.a. Clay Combs of Crooksville, Ohio. This is all public record information, by the way. This is not in any way doxing. This is a public figure who is known by his real name based on information publicly available. Clay Combs has threatened my life. He has threatened my family multiple times, by the way, for all of these things. In fact, just about every other week, sometimes every other day, he's changing his mind on whether or not myself and my family get to live. No joke, he's threatened to kill any cult member, any fan of PODAWFUL, if he ever encounters one on the street. And this is all because he got laughed at on the internet. Now, his very existence is already a joke, but what comes next is the punchline. He doesn't want just the show dead. He wants you dead. You, the person listening to this right now. If you have ever laughed at PODAWFUL, he would kill you. Now, the guy we're talking about is a deranged meth addict. Okay? And again, I'm having to be careful about it. I've been able to read you most of what's in here. I got to be careful about this next part as well. Let me be clear. I'm not going to be threatened by anybody. Certainly not over jokes. I've let too much pass with Comedy Shaman. I tried to make it work. I tried to make it okay. All right. And I know in his mind, he's going to think, well, fuck you. You made fun of me. You pranked me. You trolled me. Everything that happened to Comedy Shaman, and this is what he will never understand, everything that happened to him is something he allowed. A normal person would never fall for a prank. See, when he whines that he was pranked for 7 months or 8, whatever he claims it is now, 10 months, whatever it was. A normal person, that doesn't happen to. Okay? Your average human being would figure that out. Now, never mind the fact that during that time, it was me that got him to go back to rehab, that got him to admit he was addicted to kratom and kick that for the little bit of time that he did. Never mind that it was me that got him to clean up. And remember when he had his big comeback and he actually looked better? That was me. Sure, my methods might be questionable, but you can't argue with results. Am I an ends justify the means type of guy? Yes. Yes. Yeah, they tend to. They typically do. And in all of this, and I've always said this, and I've always been honest about this, no joke, and I know this is impossible to understand or believe, but no joke, I have always wanted Clay Combs, the comedy shaman, to be sort of an apprentice of PODAWFUL. Yeah, I'm going to make fun of you. Yeah, I'm going to rib you a little bit. I do that with everyone. I do that with the people who pay me to watch the show. If I'm making fun of you, guess what? You're in. And it was legitimately my plan to try to get him as much traction as possible. A guy, by the way, with zero talent. And the craziest part is, and he will now claim, this is what he's been claiming, this is how he justifies threatening me and my family, and threatening you, by the way. This is how he justifies it, is he says that I wanted him dead. He says that I've encouraged him to kill himself, which is simply not true. That I encouraged him to get back on meth, which is not true. Again, I'm the person who got him to go to rehab. Whether he realizes that or not. None of that shit is true. But he will argue that because we severely pranked him, that it spiritually is true, which is something I can understand. I understand that thought process. I do. The problem is, Comedy Shaman directly told me and many others that it was his objective desire to become a lol cow. He wanted more than anything to become a thread on kiwi farms. He said this. He wanted to be like, he thought he could be PPP. These are his words, almost verbatim. That PPP has a whole thread on him that started out making fun of him, and now everyone on kiwi farms loves him, and he's super successful with the Keno Casino. Now, never mind the fact that whatever you think of PPP, he is talented. And Comedy Shaman lacks any form of talent. And I mean any. He doesn't have a single talented bone in his body. And that's including when Feds is fucking him in the ass. So everything I did was in service of something that Shaman literally asked for. Not he was asking for it. He was asking for it. The entire plan. The whole idea of having someone whip out a fake cock on his stream was to generate enough buzz that he could ride in order for there to be a thread about him, in order for him to get viewers off of this drama, this controversy. Of all the goons, Shaman is the only one who is so fucking stupid he couldn't ride free drama with a much, much larger channel into some form of anything. Instead, he quit streaming after that, after he got what he wanted. The gift of the Magi. Be careful what you wish for. Now, at the same time, it's on me for choosing this meth head who was already a basket case the first time he ever reached out to me. That's my fault for choosing this guy as my pet project. That's on me. So I want to be clear about something. Do I know for a fact that Shaman is the one who actually managed to report this stuff? Could a third party have known that Shaman was planning this and did it themselves to get away with it? Absolutely. Do I know for a fact it was Shaman? He pressed the buttons? No. No, I don't. I'll tell you exactly whose fault all this shit was. Vimeo's. The real fucking problem here is Vimeo. You see, Shaman, no matter what he's done, he didn't take tens of thousands of dollars from me and then destroy my business. Vimeo did. Why? Well, I can't say why on the stream, but if you read the post on the Pizza Fund, you'll see the type of fucking employees they have is why. I wasn't taken off because of any rule that was broken. I was taken off because I offended Vimeo. Now, anybody at any time could have reported this shit, and if any employee, and I mean any single one I've ever dealt with, had ever taken a chance to look at any of the content, they would have found an excuse to do it because they wouldn't like it, and they'd be upset. And you know what the real difference is right now than it was before? By the way, the timing on this is not in any way suspicious. It's obvious what's going on. I'm being banned at the end of my yearly contract. Why? So they could potentially get me to pay for another year and then ban me. They were hoping they could slip that one in. And so they could take that money. Why didn't they do it a year ago? Because the people who don't like this stuff were in charge a year ago. I'm no culture warrior, and I ain't taking any sides here, but we all know what type of people dislike the type of stuff we like to laugh at. And they dislike it because the stuff we laugh at is them. Now, what they don't know, and this is the saddest part, with these, fingernail tapping border jockeys don't understand is I'm laughing at all of them. But when they see it, they only see themselves. When they see a retarded, autistic meth head being laughed at for his, by the way, not for being retarded, not for being a meth head, not for being autistic, being laughed at for his ego, his foibles, his normal human conditions. That reminds them of them. They see themselves in the earth's lowliest. And a year ago, the earth's lowliest were in charge. And that's been the case for the entire time I've been able to use Vimeo. What's different now? They feel powerless. And I've said this a million times, but the only thing that would make a company, any of these companies, YouTube, any big tech company, why do they give a fuck? Why are there report buttons for things that have nothing to do with the law? What is that? And the answer is always, because you would think money. You would think these are capitalist things. Power. money is power, but there's a type of power bigger than and stronger than money. And we all know what it is now, thanks to the internet. It was discovered thanks to the internet. This wasn't even a thing 20 years ago. There's a social capital that is now more important than actual capital. And so even a big company like Vimeo that's, taking in thousands and thousands of dollars from every single retard they've got on the hook. There's one thing more important to the people that run that stuff, and it's that social capital. And when every single person hired at some company is essentially one of these limp-wristed hall monitors who have been promoted to these fake positions of power, essentially, HR reps, woman jobs. When you walk into a building and there's a security desk, they pay an old black fella to sit there and pay zero attention to you. Sometimes he's just straight up asleep. And you're supposed to write your name on a clipboard and no one even checks to see if you did it. No one ever reads. Nothing happens with that clipboard at the literal end of the day. Like, there's no point in any of it. It's all just for show. But every once in a while, you see that guy, that's the lowest guy on the totem pole. That security guard, he's somehow the first line of defense, but the absolute bottom of the barrel in that entire building. The janitors are higher up than him. But every once in a while, he's awake, and every once in a while, he, or sometimes she, will want to flex that modicum of power that life has now given them. And suddenly, they've got a problem with something. They find any excuse, and they got to get rid of you, or they won't let you in. That's HR. That's secretaries. That's all of these adult daycare fucking jobs where you have nothing to do with the infrastructure of the business in which you are dwelling. That's what all this shit is. Most jobs at this point in humanity, in America at the very least, most jobs are adult daycare centers. It's just to keep the earth's lowliest off the street and doing retarded shit that would be annoying for the people with actual power. The problem that occurs is that social capital is accrued through acts such as hiring those people to positions in which they have no business being. So every single employee at Vimeo is a security guard, is an HR person, is a secretary, is a hall monitor. They're the earth's lowliest. And they were all riding high for the past 4 years. I'm not saying this is purely a Trump thing or even a right and left thing, but everyone agrees a pendulum has swung back. Probably didn't help with what's going on with Ye lately. Yay! Although he's apologized today. It's over. He's done now. Whoopsie. Sorry. So, all of that is to say, Vimeo is the problem. Now, I am saying this. I have the possibility of getting the Vimeo account back. I am currently in the appeals process. I don't think that's going to happen. That's part of why I hid this post on the website originally. But the more and more I sat there thinking about it, the angrier I got. Not at Clay, not at whatever potential third party had their hand in this. And frankly, if it was anyone else, I literally straight up don't care. Much like when Dick Masterson got me kicked off of Patreon, which, by the way, is the reason Clay wanted to do this. He's attempting to replicate Dick Masterson. He wants to become Dick Masterson, or like a bigger villain to me than Dick Masterson, though, I haven't actually been mad at for years. Why? Because inevitably what happened was he did me a favor. Getting me kicked off of Patreon is the greatest thing that ever happened to my show. So I'm going to be mad at Vimeo in the same way I'm mad at Patreon on this. Frankly, a gift has been given to us. Again, Vimeo, and you can go back years ago and listen to me say this on the show once we have those shows back up in the Pizza Fund. But you can absolutely find me on air saying that Vimeo is probably a stopgap, probably a temporary solution. And it was simply a matter of momentum that kept us on there. I didn't want to be a part of Vimeo, and I knew this would happen. And just like with YouTube, a company like Vimeo is the enemy. Why do I use YouTube? Because I want to inflict damage. I want to cause them trouble. I want to take up their fucking time. And so should everybody. Every fucking person who hates this shit, you should be uploading the fuck out of shit they would hate. Waste their fucking bandwidth, waste their time, waste their servers, waste their resources. Now, they've got plenty. They've got plenty. You can't do enough. That's why we need everybody doing this. This is the entire point of pollute the net, by the way. Well, guess what? Vimeo accounts are free up to a certain amount of gigabytes. I don't know what it is. I haven't had a free account on there in years. Maybe somebody can go take a look. But I will encourage everybody, certainly who's already archiving the show, everybody who's been re-uploading stuff on YouTube for a while now, all the free content, make it Vimeo's fucking problem. Now, I'll tell you this, Vimeo doesn't have YouTube's resources. So we're going to make Vimeo pay. They've stolen from me thousands and thousands of dollars. What do you mean, Jesse? You got to use the service and all that time. Trust me, the prices I was being charged and the claims they were making on bandwidth, they've stolen from me. But more than anything, I now have 1 million dead links on a website. This is going to cost me time, which will cost me money. And I am going to probably end up getting somebody to help me out with this and get everything back together to try to make your experience on the website better. I beg anyone out there, if you've got anything archived, anything, it can just be clips of merch. I don't give a fuck. I tell you what, upload porn to Vimeo. You don't give a shit. Do you care if you lose a Vimeo account? Of course not. Let's make it their fucking problem. Make them pay. I know what you're thinking. This is sounding a little World War-like. World War Web much? Well, I'm going to come to that in a second. This is the minor part. This is the lesser part of this. I fully intend to open up a new Vimeo account. I do. I'm not going to pay him any money, but I am going to do it. If it requires opening 12 accounts, 15, whatever number of accounts, if it requires chopping up my episodes, fucking compressing them down to where you can't even see them anymore, just to fill Vimeo's servers with the exact content, by the way, that they said was not okay. I will be taking the exact episodes that they said aren't allowed and re-uploading them, and I'll be doing that for the rest of my fucking life. I'm going to bleed them dry on free bandwidth, free uploads. Vimeo is not long for this world, okay? Honestly, if we could get 100 people dedicated to this cause, we could make Vimeo insolvent. I'm sure of it. If we just had 100 people once a week filling an entire free Vimeo account with the shit they say is not allowed, and then just doing it over and over again, start it, just make a new email address, do it again. Insolvent by the end of the year. I'm telling you, these guys don't know what they're doing. Vimeo is, a lot of people don't realize this, but Vimeo, where they really make any money, is through stuff like what I had. They've got this thing called OTT, over the top. So a lot of things have this, where they basically will build you a pizza fund. They'll build you a Patreon, more or less. You make a paywall website for video. And that shit costs even more than what I was paying. It's like a goddamn arm and a leg for that stuff. And there's a bunch of sites that you're probably not even aware of that use it. I think Tim Heidecker uses it for, what's his thing called? I can't even remember the name of it. He's like On Cinema. His On Cinema website, I'm pretty sure, is a Vimeo over the top. So he's got to pay fucking an ass load for that shit. So they're making money off of these things, but more and more other companies are coming out that aren't charging the insane amounts that Vimeo are. And more people are figuring out, oh wait, I don't need this middleman for this kind of stuff. And probably this stuff will get cheaper for a little bit. And then it's going to get really, really expensive because the data wars are coming. So anyway, I plan to inflict this damage back on Vimeo. That is my plan for making them pay. Unfortunately, for Clay, like I said, I understand his spiritually it's my fault thing. So spiritually, even if he did not report it himself, he said he was going to. And he's the only person I know who did. And he said it a year ago, and we have proof of it. And he said it as recently as 2 weeks ago, and we have proof of it. So even if he didn't do it, he did it. Now, he might have just put the thought in somebody else's mind. Again, you don't have to pull the trigger if you're just, you can be the match that lights the spark. That's all you have to be in this scenario. And even then, you don't even have to do that much. Even then, you can just be the guy who I can point a finger at. You spiritually did it. I believe in that too, man. I believe in spirituality the same way as you. I believe spiritually it's your fault. And you fucking did it. So unfortunately for him, I know the motel he's been living in for the past little while. I know the rehab facility that he was in until a few days ago. Did you know he went back to rehab? Did you know? Because I know about his most recent run-in with the cops. Yeah, that's right, Clay. See, I know everything that's going on. How? Because PODAWFUL's watching you. And here's the deal. Even if you didn't do it, what I know is you enjoy that it happened. And if you enjoy that it happened, and this goes for anybody, don't let me catch you enjoying it. Don't make PODAWFUL watch you. Trust me, Because if you enjoy it, it means you would do it. And it means the next time you might be the one to try it yourself. Now that you see it works, why wouldn't you try it? See, that's the harm in even announcing this. This is what I have to worry about now. Is either Clay or some idiot like him will now go, hey, I guess this is a method of attack that works. Well, let me be clear. The company that I'm going with, I believe, we're still in talks. The people that I am currently talking to and I think will probably use, they don't give a fuck. I'll just put it that way. These guys work with InfoWars, okay? They don't give a fuck if I say a no word. They don't give a fuck if I hurt your feelings. They don't give a fuck if Minnie Manson parades around in the buff. And they don't give a fuck about your limp-wristed reporting. What happens when you've got no one to cry to? See, what you've done now is, and it's already happening, Clay, what you've done now is you've made the people who like PODAWFUL, you might have inspired some copycats. You might have inspired some people to try to report my shit, but you've made the people who enjoy PODAWFUL rally behind it. And exactly as I predicted a week ago, I said on air, if you do this, if this happens, I will make more money. Thank you to the pizza funders for rallying behind. That is now true. We are saving those servers. Kiwi Farm style. Again, I would never, ever do a give, send, go or anything like that. Unless it was like absolutely dire straits. That was the only way to do it. But I would never ask for nothing, for something with nothing in return. This is straight up. The transaction is keep your subscription and the pizza fund exists and you get content again. Well, guess what? People are doing that now, Clay. And of course, I've already been told by many of them, we'll wait as long as we need. Take the time to get things built back up. I'm not doing that. I'm staying fucking live. I'm staying on the air. So what else did I predict? I said you would give me all the time in the world to do whatever has to be done as a result. Well, you've given that to me. Congratulations, stupid. You've done it.
I'm about to bust.
I now have all the time in the world. And obviously, I've got all the info in the world. I have everything I need to make sure that you or anyone like you never does this again. Period. Next step, rebuild the pizza fund. Next step, make it impossible for this loser to report anything or any loser to report anything. I think we're almost there. I think what we're going to have will be 1,000,000 times better than what we had before. I truly believe that. All you've done is make my shit better. So, if you would like to help fund the destruction of the losers who did this to me, join the pizza fund, up your pizza fund, get yourself a 6-month pizza fund sub. Did you know that you get an entire month off on the pizza fund if you do 6 months up front? Join it today. Upgrade your level. Whatever you want to do. If you can swing it, do it. Because the next time we go live in the pizza fund, it's war. See you soon, Comedy Shaman. PODAWFUL.pizza.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. PODAWFUL.pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
PODAWFUL.pizza.
The clay comes his gay homes. He takes the rainbow, but he ought to stay home and bring a raincoat. Because he and the catfish are in the same boat, running from the gay like he's Usain Bolt. It's the bird. It's the bird, my friends. I call it Cody, unfunny, homosexual. You won't back down when you see what's next, you will. Take a sexy pill, turn a man into a girl and see Clay flex his skill. Sexuality contextual, ineffectual, transsexual, chasing perpetual to get it intersexual. Intellectual, the text you deal. Can I give Clay a nickel to tickle my pickle? Starting to look like the reaper in a sickle. But Clay isn't fickle, he's the mayor of Dickville. It's a population of one, say a prayer for fun. Sweet dreams, Shaman, you're done. My cock work, yeah, my cock work. Just like clockwork, it's the bird. Her balls sticking like onions, nobody likes onions. Cock flopping on his cheeks, while he tongues a butt box for weeks. When he gay little gremlin vibes, come never could blind his eyes. Catches Clay of the hermaphrodites. Cock's no problem if the pussy in play. She's my hoe, so you know it's not gay. She's my hoe, so you know it's not gay. Tiny Tate calling the Rust Belt. Big trainy dick got Clay feeling heartfelt. It's the bird. It's the bird, my friends. The only balls you be throwing past second base. Southern tiny junkie balls in a Looney Tunes face. Blowing trans men's backs out, you don't hear backspace. Goofy ass goof troop, got you dreaming of clearing out beds, poof shoot. Duty booty bitches too, trans boogaloo. Playing baby girl skin flute. You better come with that cute too. Rock to come, I am autistic. You love meth and girl dick. Old radio bumps make me sick. Ohio is for lovers, and you are undercover looking for another Fez Watley to smother. Born or kill like Hank Hill. That boy ain't right. She ain't that hard, I tell you what. Pulled it with all of might, gave me quite a fright. Where's the dash? Just looking to smash. My rhymes are trash, they're really trash. Gonna OD and crash. It's the bird. It's the bird, my friends. Oh God, please tell Shaman that's a resonator. Feds beating harder, masturbator. Shaman soft as ramen. It's not uncommon, often lost in thoughts of Feds. Cockzilla flopping on his noggin. So I'm rocking like an honest off a pocket full of poppers. Offering his cheeks to beat like a pair of soccer loppers. He's a honkin' rocket slopper, ball taco chomping, self-titty copper. Feds without a dong and said got him. When Clay gets hard, she calls him rock bottom. It's so hot when she talks so offered to chop off her cock. But he said stop her. Yo. You saw devil's dick looking delish. You just wish you would come in, yeah. You got heart for tranny, cock, gay meth head. Anthony queued me up. All black men are on the down low. When Shaman sings, he hits the brown note. Patrice so needle, got his brown stroke. Going deep down Clay's throat. Patrice just thrust and Shaman screams out, I'm about to bust, washed. My cock work, yeah, my cock work. My cock work just like clockwork. It's the bird.
Well, I like to crank up the speed. Got a dick girl kinda neat. But before she even walked in the door, I turned up a little funk and I banged a little junk, and she caught me tweaking on the floor. Well, I really don't mind you if you're from the hills of Carolina, Appalachia, Ohio, with that Florida vagina. Break out the crystal, put away the fine china. Time Time to ice away my wounds again. I got myself in this mess, but I blame it on Jess. Can I get an amen? Time to ice away my wounds again, my friends. So I made a mad dash to check on my stash, 'cause I'd had a girl steal from me before. But this was a rare chick, the kind with the spare dick, not like the last tweak of pussy whore. Well, I really don't mind you if you're from the hills of Carolina, Appalachia, Ohio, with that Florida vagina. Break out the crystal, put away the fine china. Time to ice away my wounds again. Time to ice away my wounds again. I got myself in this myth, but I blame it on Jess. Can I get an amen? Time to ice away my wounds again, my friends. No, I didn't need a name to cause no big scene, but you know I was looking to score. I caught her with my gack, she tucked it high to sack. I got a peek when she dropped her drawers. Well, I really don't mind you if you're from the hills of Carolina, Appalachia, Ohio, with that Florida vagina. Break out the crystal, put away the fine china. Time to ice away my wounds again. Time to ice away my wounds again. Once again, I got myself in this myth, but I blame it on Jess. Can I get an amen? Time to ice away my wounds again, my friends. Time to ice away my wounds again, my friends. I love you all more than you could ever know. Sweet, sweet ice. It is what it is, my friends.
Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone, it's toilet time.
Is that a little fart I hear?
Grab a tissue, grab a wipe. Jesse's gone, that's what I like. Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone, it's so sublime. Your favorite part of the show. Toilet time, let's freaking go. Your favorite part of the show. Toilet time, let's freaking go. Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone, it's toilet time.
I love toilet, I love poo, I love me, and I love you. When Jesse returns, we'll see. Toilet time was just for me. Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone, it's toilet time. Was it one, or was it two? Was it pee, or was it poo? Please, Jesse, just come back soon, but bring with you a brand new Gucci. Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone, it's toilet time. can hear Jesse moan, pushing turd into his throne. Will Jesse be back soon? How does it work on the moon? A brand new present for the bull, slithering right out his hole. 1 ply, 2 ply, clean the crack. When you're done, then come right back. Stinky, plop, plop, plop. Plop, plop, plop. Beepity dookie poopy oopsies. Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone is toilet time. You ate food and now it's mushy. Clean the poopy from your tushy. There's no hurry, there's no rushy. Just remember, always flushy. I've got a grimy little slimy that's hanging out behind me. Everyone behind me while I wipe my bottom shiny. Find me back real soon unless this log's not tiny. Toilet time, toilet time. Everyone, it's so sublime, sublime.
Toilet time, everyone, it's toilet time. Is that a little fart I hear? Grab a tissue, grab a wipe. Jesse's gone, that's what I like. Toilet time, everyone, it's so sublime. Your favorite part of the show, toilet time, let's freaking go. Favorite part of the show, toilet time, let's freaking go.
Toilet time, everyone, it's toilet time. I love toilet, I love poo, I love me, and I love you.
When Jesse returns, we'll see. Toilet time was just for me.
Toilet time, everyone, it's so sublime. Was it 1 or was it 2? Was it pee or was it poo? Please, Jesse, just come back soon, but bring with you a brand new goon. Oh, toilet time, everyone, it's toilet time. I can hear Jesse moan, pushing turd into his throne. Will Jesse be back soon? How does it work on the moon? A brand new present for the bowl, slithering right out his hole. 1 ply, 2 ply, clean the crack. When you're done, then come right back. Toilet time, everyone, it's so sublime. You ate food and now it's mush. Clean the poopy from your tush. There's no hurry, there's no rush. Just remember, always flush. I've got a grimy little slimy that's hanging out my hiney. Everyone behind me while I wipe my bottom shiny. Find me back real soon, unless this log's not tiny. Toilet time, everyone, it's so sublime. Toilet time, everyone loves toilet time.
Toilet time, everyone, it's toilet time. Is that a little fart I hear? Grab a tissue, grab a wipe. just for me. Toilet time, everyone is so sublime. Was it one or was it two? Was it pee or was it poo? Please, Jesse, just come back soon. But bring with you